Hello everyone, Michael here from Part-Time Gamer, Full-Time Dad with a Too Long Didn't Read guide for World of Warcraft. This time on the block is the Holy Paladin, so let's just get into it. Quick warning before we do start, this is simply a basics guide of my recommendations for a new Holy Paladin looking to get a feel for the class. Holy Paladins used to be considered tank-only healers, and we certainly do excel at this role. However, I feel that we do our best work when healing the raid, all while passively healing the tanks. So, with that being said, we're going to start off with the suggested talents, as these will impact your playstyle the most. At level 15, your default talent choice should be Bestow Faith for the ability to time a big heal on your target. At level 30, it's entirely up to you. However, I would suggest Rule of Law, as an increase in the range of your heals and the effectiveness of your mastery is always beneficial. Level 45 is completely situational. As a default, Fist of Justice helps to reduce your stun cooldown and is entirely passive. At level 60, you should use Aura Mastery as your default, as your objective is to heal, heal, heal. This also ties in nicely with Aura Mastery later. Level 75 can go either way. Divine Purpose is good for mana sustainability, while Holy Avenger is a nice haste and Holy Shock healing increase. Level 90 should be Sanctified Wrath. Judgment of Light is technically better, but harder to use as it requires judging the boss on a regular basis. At level 100, your default will be Beacon of Virtue. Having your beacon on both tanks is amazingly helpful. This also helps you to conserve mana if you're healing those tanks often. For your stats, you're going to want to look for these stats in the priority order that I will list them. First off is obviously going to be Intellect, as this just increases your healing amount. It should be on all of your gear aside from jewelry. Second stat you're going to want to aim for is Critical Strike. You want to have Holy Shock critting as much as possible for the proc. Having your other spells crit, never a bad thing either. Thirdly, you're going to want Versatility for the flat healing increase and the damage reduction. Fourth is going to be your Mastery, as it's not super helpful, since the melee are going to be near the tank and the castles are going to be near you anyways. Finally, you're going to look for Haste. Paladin casts take a long time, yes, but your Infusion of Light proc is how we get around this. For your gems, you're going to want to aim for the 200 Intellect in any particular slot and 150 Critical Strike in your remaining sockets. For your relics, you're going to want to aim for the highest eye level relic that increases the healing on any spell. As well, Second Sunrise is nice for those extra Light of Dawn procs occasionally. The enchants you'll want to go for obviously depends on the slot. For your neck, you'll want Mark of the Ancient Priestess for the healing proc. You're going to want 200 Intellect on your cloak, and you're going to want 200 Critical Strike on both of your rings. Your consumables will be Flask of the Whispered Pact for the increased Intellect, the Hungry Magister food for the Critical Strike increase, and Lay Torrent potions for the added mana. If you're not comfortable using Lay Torrent potions, mana pots will work just as well. Alternatively, you can use the Potion of Prolonged Power, which will be significantly cheaper for a slight healing increase. So now let's get on to the basic playstyle. With the talents that I outlined above for ease of use, your best bet for a basic playstyle is to put your two beacons on the two separate tanks and just spot heal where need be. You'll want to be using your Holy Shock on cooldown in order to get the most out of your Infusion of Light proc chance. With that in mind, you will use Holy Light to consume your Infusion of Light procs, as it reduces the cast time to near Flash of Light levels. You'll want to use Flash of Light to top up people who are low, and your Light of the Dawn for the AoE heals. Light of the Martyr is not worth using unless you have an absolutely panic moment, as the damage done to you also needs to be healed somehow. You'll want to make sure that you also are using your Bestow Faith on the tank who currently has aggro on the boss. Unfortunately, its 5-second pop-off timer, as I like to call it, means it's not useful for healing raid members. Your artifact ability, Tears Deliverance, should be used on cooldown, as it is a heal over time ability that will jump to other injured party members within range. Your best bet though is to cast it on a tank to start, as it leaves behind a healing increase buff on that target. Paladins have a lot of cooldowns to keep track of, so we'll only touch on each of them briefly. First up, Lay of Hand should be used if the tank is right about to die, as it will pretty much top them off. Second, your Blessings. Blessing of Sacrifice should be used as an external cooldown when your tank is about to take high damage but has no cooldowns of their own. This redirects some damage to you, so be careful. Blessing of Protection can be used to clear some harmful debuffs from your target. Be wary though, because your target won't be able to attack with this spell on them. Blessing of Freedom removes a movement impairing effect, so use it when your tank or someone important needs to move. As for actual healing cooldown, Avenging Wrath is the big one. It increases all healing by 35% and your crit chance by 20%, so it should be used during periods of high raid damage. Aura Mastery should be used as well during high AoE raid damage, as it causes your aura to have no maximum targets and heal for 100% more. This has huge throughput if timed properly. If you have taken Holy Avenger over Divine Purpose, this simply acts as another healing cooldown, increasing your haste and Holy Shock crit chance. And finally, your Cleanse ability is, well, Cleanse. Use this to remove disease, poison, or magic effects from your target. And with that, we reached the end of this Too Long Didn't Read guide for the Holy Paladins. If this was at all helpful, consider hitting that like button. Maybe leave a comment if you're feeling frisky. Get subscribed for more videos like this in the future, and hit me up on Twitter at PTGamer_FTDad. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and may the lights bless your target.